If you're watching the Olympics, there's been the sports climbing. Now, this discipline has been split into 3 events: bouldering, speed climbing and lead climbing, or lead climbing. I'm not quite sure what that is. Is it lead climbing? Joining us now is the head of climbing at Westway Climbing in London, Jez Tapping. Jez, it's not just climbing, is it? What can you tell us a bit about these events? I've not heard of this one before.
Well, yeah, this is a brand new event to the Olympics. We've been campaigning for quite some time. It's a combined format, so as you were saying, it's speed, boulder, and then lead. And these have been kind of standalone activities for quite some time. But now, obviously, in the Olympic format, they're kind of pulling them together, so you get the kind of the best all-rounder when it comes to all the different kind of climbing disciplines. So it's quite exciting to see them all together, especially on this particular stage.
Now, I would never have even thought this. For me, climbing is a bit like the curling. They're sort of pushing a brush around and stuff like that. But climbing is actually very difficult. I do appreciate it's a tough event. I'm wondering, are you into climbing yourself? And is it something that's becoming more and more popular in the UK?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been involved in the climbing industry specifically for about 15 years. It's been growing and growing. In London alone, we've gone from having a number of centres, about 5, up to I think about 15 centres in London at the moment. So the sport itself is massively growing. It's kind of gone from its origins of outdoor climbing to indoor climbing being an activity in its own right. It's obviously based in the adventure sport kind of category, but now it's people are coming from far and wide to take part in.
Wow,
we've just been
awesome, doesn't it?
Just been looking
bingo
at
wings,
incredible indoor climbing. I mean, the speed and agility of those people.
I would love to try that. I'd love to try that.
How can people get involved in climbing if they want to get involved?
Yeah, so there's a campaign at the moment with the Association of British Climbing Walls. So get-climbing.co.uk is the website. So if you get on there, you can see where's your local centre and to get involved. And there's also an organisation called NICAS, which is the National Indoor Climbing Award Scheme. So if your kids are interested, then they can get on a kind of development pathway and potentially be the next Olympians.
See, now I would love to do that. I'm going to get myself a good glue-on wig, though, because I want to look good when I'm climbing.
When you're tangling upside down.
Because I tell you what, if I fall off that wall, if my wig falls off, I'm jumping out to get it, and put it back on and climb back up.
Wow.
Can I just ask, so is this the first time that climbing will be included in something like the Olympics? I don't believe I've seen it before.
Yeah, there's been World Championships for a long time,
Really?
But in the Olympics, climbing, historically there was kind of mountaineering gold medals, but that was kind of back in the 20s and 30s. But as a sport, it is brand new this year. It will be in Paris 2024, and we're obviously fingers crossed for it being in LA in 2028 as well. So climbing as a sport is certainly here to stay.
It does seem that there have been a lot of new sports added to the Olympics this year. Is this a temporary thing? You say that it's going to be in Paris 2024 as well and probably going to last longer. Is that basically what we're seeing with skateboarding as well, with all of these other sports?
BMXing, has that been in
yeah,
there?
I think BMXing has been in before, I'm not sure. But all of these new sports, so once they're in, they're sort of in there for good, is that right?
Well, yes. So Tokyo had, I believe, it was 5 exhibition sports: surfing, BMX, and skating, and climbing being one of them. But as I said, the climbing has now been confirmed for Paris. So we're kind of hoping that's the step whereby climbing is kind of officially in the Olympics now. But that's more my hopeful thinking than actual official at this point. But as I said, LA will hopefully be the kind of cementing climbing. As an Olympic sport, having had 3 Olympiads at that point.
Well, listen, Jez, it's... Oh, you got another...
Oh, yeah, just quickly, how good is Team GB at climbing? Are we expecting any medals to be hauled from these events?
So Shauna was our athlete who was representing us at this Games. She hasn't qualified for the final, but she did exceptionally well in the kind of standing this year. When it comes to Paris, we've got 2 hopeful athletes at least, so Molly Thompson-Smith and Will Bosey. So hopefully we'll get male and female representation at the next Games, and they are, they're hopeful for the podiums at that Games.
Well, listen, Jez, thank you so much for joining us. That's Jez Tapping. Lovely to talk to you.